if what I'm saying is that if these regional states who live contiguously, one, they will have the understanding, share information, they share resources, be able to augment each other's resources, and they work together. That doesn't mean that the Nigerian police, for which is the principal agency in charge of internal security, would be discarded. This agency will be there, and they will now complement the police. But except if now one say regional policing in place of state policing, that's a different issue entirely. If it's now regional arrangement to complement effort of the police, is a different arrangement too. But if you say want to have regional policing in place of state policing, because most states in this country, like I said earlier, are not viable enough to even have provide for their civil workers. And security is very intensive. You have to pay salary, buy equipment, buy arms, and so forth. They don't have the money. Some say they all depend on what the government give to them in terms of allocation. They go and collect every month. They call it spoon. They are spoon fed, or baby. What they call it when a mother feeds a child with a feeding bottle government. They are not being fed with the feeding bottle. They every month go and collect and come back. They're not even viable. They are not creative. They not generate funds. So it's a problem. So regional arrangement will go a long way in helping the problem. But then is it going to be a police arrangement, or is it going to be now where contiguous states come together and form what you have in the southwest, Amotekor, in the southeast, Bubagu. So it is based on from what perspective are we going to look at it. Is it the one that made where the federal government said where it's going to be involved, that the police is not going to be original basis, or some people are advocating for state police. The state police today, Nigeria has not evolved to that situation where we can say we have state police. Our political class are not going to imbibe the spirit of patriotism. Our political class are so promoted by ethnic loyalty, parochial, ethnic loyalty, religious loyalty, and that will impact negatively on state policing, where some politicians will now use the police against perceived opponents. This issue of state, it was practiced during Ibrahim Babangida, where officers from the rank of DSP to the constables were asked to go to the state of origin. It was implemented. It didn't work. Because even with those who are within local government areas, policemen who are from that area were taking side on land dispute, chieftaincy dispute, and so forth. And that was why it was discarded. We need to involve, we will now have a national consciousness, patriotic consciousness. In that, that's okay. Then our politicians are also not, where they now have the mentality of there to render service, not because to grab power and loot money. So it is when we have that attitudinal transformation, where we now know that we are there to render service to the society and to contribute towards the welfare and security of the society sincerely in line with our oath of office. That is when I think that can be done. But for now, for us to have state police, it's not very possible, because it happened during the First Republic, Operation White Tear in the Western region. They had local government police. It came up with the same challenges. So until when we develop that patriotic spirit, for instance, if it's okay, state police, if I'm from Lagos State and I commit a crime someone maybe from Kaduna State, and I will find my way to Kaduna State, and I'm being looked at by the police, the Kaduna State may not be willing to release me to the Lagos State Police. Understand? Except they are really patriotic and sincere that they are out there to work. So we need to kind of evolve that understanding, that consciousness, that patriotic spirit, for us to now say state police can now work. For now, I don't advise state police. For now, for me, I'll subscribe to this regional arrangement where they're there to complement for the police. And that regional arrangement, the police should now supervise the activities of this regional arrangement, so that they don't go. They should give them rules of engagement and code of conduct, so they don't abuse power and also be involved in extrajudicial killing or abuse of power and abuse of human rights. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, CP Alobi. This was very, very informative. And that really brings me to how we, and this is for our journalists on our panels, and it can go to anybody. Um, as journalists, how can the profession really address deliberate or unconscious bias in conflict coverage? Because we see that also in Nigeria, and with the way the media sometimes pits how Amotekun Corps are being seen as legitimized or, you know, legitimate versus the ESN with IPOB. But just in general, and just thinking about Africa, how do we remove that bias that sometimes comes in when we are covering or writing about conflict coverage? Because as academics, we really depend on, you know, journalists and newspapers as well as policy reports to inform how we think about our research questions. And this can go to either Ian or Doug.
So one thing that I observe when I read for Nigerian coverage, what's happening regarding the security situation, I'm going to preface this by saying what I'm describing Nigerian media is not unique to Nigeria. You can see similar problems in their African neighbors and, you know, really many news agencies. And that is the way in which these conflicts are framed, or the way the sort of participants in the conflict are framed.